it's Stephanie here from HMO Heaven. Great to be with you. And you are watching the first in our HMO Landlord Series. It's specifically for you if you're an HMO landlord. Lots of the other videos that we make are for fellow HMO managers, but this is for you if you're an HMO landlord. Let's face it, nobody goes into property because they want another job. And these tips will help you make more money, get more equity in your property, and do it all in less time so that you get your life back. These are the little things that have the big impact. And this month it's pure gold dust because it's how to put an end to those empty rooms which put a massive dent in your bottom line. We take voids very seriously and keep them as close to zero as we possibly can. And here's why. Because even if you have a 5% void rate, which I know a lot of people think is acceptable, but look what happens. Say you've got a 5-bed house at a room rate of £350 a month. That is in total £1,750 a month, and every year it's £21,000. Nice. But then with your 5% voids, you would be losing every year just over £1,000. And every 5 years, you'd be losing over £5,000. But let's say you've got two properties, both operating like this. Then you'd be losing just over £2,000 a year and just over £10,000 every 5 years. So how can we stop this from happening? We need to stop letting this money run out of our business. And that's what I'm going to show you today. This one system. If you implement this tip, I guarantee you your voids will massively reduce. So previously, all of our tenants would give a month's notice, and they could, if they gave notice on the 10th of November, then they would be moving out on the 9th of December. But now what we do is all tenants can move out at the end of the rental period. All of the rental periods begin on the first day of the month and they end on the last day of the month. So what this means is for tenants, it's still a month's notice. So for the end, if they want to move out at the end of November, they'd need to give the notice by the end of October, and so on. If they want to move out at the end of February, they'd need to give the notice by the end of January. So it's still a month's notice for them. But let me explain why this is so important for you. So the first benefit is what you're going to find is that more people can move in on the first of the month. So when you're viewings with potential tenants, you're not looking for one person who wants to move in on the 19th of the month, one person who wants to move in on the 26th of the month, one person who wants to move in on the 7th of the month. You're looking and you're asking people to move in on the 1st of the month. And what you'll find is more of your potential tenants are able to move in on the 1st of the month. And that alone reduces your voids. The second thing that will happen is rather than having move-ins and move-outs at multiple times through the year, now you'll only have 12 move-in and move-out days per year, which is much easier to manage. And in fact, it will only be 11 days because so far nobody has wanted to move out on the 31st of December. So you've actually got 11 move-in and move-out days a year, which is so much more straightforward for you to manage. And lastly, it means you can provide a better service. It's much more easy to liaise with your cleaners, your maintenance guys, if you know that people are moving on the last day of the month and that new people are moving in on the first day of the month. It just makes the whole thing so much more smooth. And the other thing it does is it gives you certainty. When the beginning of any new month comes around, so the 1st of November, we know that if anybody then is giving notice in early November, they're giving notice for the end of January, which gives you a lot more time to find a new tenant. So really encourage you to try that and let me know how you get on. So now the second part of this is for you guys who have a letting agent managing your property for you, but you're concerned about the number of empty rooms you have. There's a few things you need to do, and I'm just going to quickly step you through those. If you want a bit more help, then do get on the phone with me and I'm happy to explain this in more detail. So first of all, calculate how much you've paid in fees over the past year. You'll have your statements from your letting agent. So including that, the management fees plus the VAT, the tenant fine fees, and don't forget any surcharges that are added onto the maintenance or any inventory and other fees. So go through all your papers and calculate how much you've paid your agent in fees in the past year. So the second thing you want to do is calculate how much you've lost in unpaid rent due to empty rooms. So if you're not sure about this, call your agent or email them and ask them all the tenancy agreement, the dates of all the tenancy agreements, and from that you will see when it's been empty, and from that you'll be able to calculate how much you've lost in rent due to empty rooms. And the third thing is to do your own assessment. So have a look at your property. It doesn't have to be a show home, but it does have to look appealing to people who want to come into a homely house share. Look at the adverts online that your agent is putting up for you. Are the photos appealing? Is the text good? If not, ask them to improve on those for you. Then ask your agent what fees they're asking tenants to pay to move into your property. I know some agents are charging for a room share £300 to the tenant to move in, and obviously if the tenant had a choice of two properties, they might take the one that didn't have the fees if all other things were equal. So that's a good point to ask if you're having problems with empty rooms. Then with your agent, ask for an action plan about how they're going to solve the problems of your empty rooms. And if your agent is unwilling or unable to solve the problems and fill your rooms, then really that leaves you to assess whether they're giving value for the fees that you're paying them. And in that case, you'd want to be looking around for someone who can deliver consistently for you. It is possible to turn things around, absolutely 100%. We've had cases where landlords have come to us with only 3 rooms taken out of 8, and we've managed that property ongoing with 8 rooms full and guaranteed the rent. So it is absolutely possible, and we've got some case studies on our website which you can look at. If you're in the process of choosing a new HMO letting agent, then I'm going to link to a video below which will be gold dust for you. And that is the 5 questions you must ask any HMO letting agent before you take them on. And that will really give you everything you need to make sure that you have what you need going forwards. I hope that's been useful. If it has, give it a thumbs up. But if you've still got questions or queries about your specific circumstances, please do give me a call or book a call back. I'm happy to help, and we offer that free service. So we'll be back next month with the HMO Landlord Series, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.